Marco Silva likes his team to have balance, but with a certain pragmatism. Fulham play an attacking brand of football, favouring short passes and wide combinations. Free-flowing football that will unbalance the opposition, giving us Marco Silva's Fulham. Starting in a 4-2-3-1 shape for the majority of matches this season, the build-up is reliant on passing combinations. We can instantly recognise this shape in their build-up with the back four and two pivots. In this situation, the two pivots have attracted a press, and this has opened up space behind the press for a longer pass into the number 10, who has dropped between the lines. The players are free to rotate and capitalise on the space when it's created. The centre-back Anderson carries the ball into space. The benefit of having the fullbacks in deeper positions is that the fullback just covers in behind while Anderson brings the ball over the halfway line and hits a diagonal pass. Fulham adapt to the opposition's press by leaving a +1 at the back, and this is enough that they can move their other pivot into the advanced half spaces, giving them symmetry on either side in which to work combinations. These triangles also exist further back where the double pivot can overload the midfield, with the pivot on the ball side providing one of two options for the fullback. Fulham are a team that like to build from the back, but they do this in a safer way than many other teams. One of the double pivots drops back to collect the ball off of a centre-back. This has two benefits. One, the centre-backs provide cover should the ball be lost here, and two, it can pull the opposition's press centrally, opening up space for the fullback to receive outside. The movement of the winger or the striker dropping into the half spaces is crucial to Fulham progressing the ball, and this provides the opportunity for line-splitting passes. The role of Robinson on the left is key to Fulham's rotations, as more of an orthodox fullback taking up wider positions means that the left winger can drop into the midfield, and this allows Fulham to effectively overload the midfield. The position of the other holding midfielder in line with the 10 gives Fulham the chance to dominate the centre, and then find space out wide. Rotations and clever movement give Fulham a dynamic attack, and key to this is Jimenez. In Marco Silva's system, he can drop deeper from the front line, and this takes the attention of the fullback, meaning that the opposition fullback can't cover, leaving him free to receive. With both of the centre-backs comfortable on the ball, they push up to the halfway line, pushing the opposition back, allowing the Fulham attackers closer to the opposition's goal. Calvin Bassey in particular is able to drive into the midfield to disrupt the defence, creating space for the Fulham attackers between the lines and behind the back line. From the double pivot, one of the pivots, usually Pereira, takes up an advanced position, leaving Burge as a single. This creates an opportunity in these half spaces either side of the pivot in a now 2-3-2-3 shape. Fulham take advantage of this space by dropping any of the front five here. When the winger comes short, this is the trigger for the fullback to occupy a position further forward, giving Fulham wide rotations. This is in contrast to many top teams that constantly have two wingers pinning the back line and stretching the pitch. Marco Silva's team has more of a relationism principle, where they look to confuse the opposition. With these rotations, the opposition struggle to keep an organised shape. With attacking players dropping deep and defensive players moving high, Fulham will look to exploit the subsequent space, with the rotations of the winger and the fullback being the main threat. If the winger is not tracked, then he is free to pick out a dangerous pass, but if he is tracked, then this will create space behind for the fullback. Jimenez also plays a role in preventing the centre-back on the ball side from pressing, leaving the wide attacker in space, or with a 1 versus 1. Here we can see the winger, Iwobi, dropping to receive the ball, pulling the opposition's fullback with him, and this opens up space for Anthony Robinson to move into. So now there are two players unmarked in the half spaces, and Jimenez's position is preventing the centre-back from pressing, leaving Traore with a 1v1. The advanced pivot's movements into the box has also pulled a defender away from the half space, resulting in a cross and a goal from the number 10. And this is one reason why Fulham have the most accurate crosses per game. In principle, Fulham are a pressing team, although they don't press all the time. The backline aggressively presses the opposition, and this gives the team a mid-block defensive shape. When one fullback closes down a winger, the fullback on the other side tucks in, giving Fulham a line of 3 to close off spaces in the centre. He can continue to press high, as he knows the space behind will be covered by a defensive midfielder. The objective now is to force the opposition back, where the striker and number 10 can get in behind. The aggressive high pressing by the centre-backs reduces the opposition's playing area, giving them less time on the ball. When the ball is loose, Fulham aim to recover the ball quickly due to the close proximity of their players and launch counter-attacks. When Fulham decide that they need a respite, or the opposition have played through their press, they form a mid-block 4-4-2 with the number 10 joining the striker in preventing passes into the opposition's pivot. The fullback can track the ball out to the side because the winger on that side covers the space, tracking any runner. As the ball gets closer to the goal, the priority turns to protecting the centre by becoming more compact and pressing in to out, and this gives Fulham the third lowest XG conceded in the league. When the ball moves to the flanks, the defence shuffle over and the winger on the non-ball side covers the far side. Operating with tight lines, this pushes the opposition back. Like the attackers, the defenders also have an awareness of space. When the fullback needs to press the winger, the centre-back shuffles across to cover. It's now the job of the defensive midfielder to cover the centre. Marco Silva's rotations in wide areas this season has seen Fulham cause problems to many big teams, and his tactics have seen Fulham a mainstay in the top half of the table this season, pushing for a European spot. His brand of attractive yet pragmatic football has won many admirers. Thanks for watching.